My name is Min Kobayashi, and today I am going to be doing the drunk book tag. I'm not drunk, but I'm going to pretend like I'm really drunk because that's kind of the point of it. You don't have to be drunk to take it. Anyways, this is my 2-year anniversary of being on BookTube, and I wanted to celebrate it by doing a lot of the basic tags that have been around since I started, and I've just never managed to do. And one of them is this tag, and you're supposed to drink. I am drinking, it looks like a smoothie. It has alcohol in it. I don't like pina colada mix because I don't really like mixed drinks at all, but my roommate does, despite the fact that she doesn't drink. She just drinks them all virgin. So I put that, and I put some blueberries in there, put some brandy in it, and I made it into a drink because there was no alcohol of mine in the house. And I felt compelled to do this in the middle of the night because I was acting super hyper, so I thought that it would probably appear like I was more drunk and would be more entertaining. But yeah, I prefer a nice good cider or some strong liquor. Like, I don't really love anything in between those two. Okay, the first question is wine coolers. You're 16 and you steal your mom's wine coolers. And it's supposed to be a guilty pleasure. I don't really have many guilty pleasures. In books, I read a ton of guilty pleasures when it comes, I watch a ton of guilty pleasures when it comes to TV shows. And probably the worst of those would probably be Vampire Diaries. I like to convince myself it's just the gothic style, but it's just so over dramatic and entertaining, and it makes me happy when it's that. Also, bromance is my favorite thing ever. 2, beer. You've made it to college and your first kegger. Pick your favorite new adult book. On this comment, let me say that beer just tastes like it's liquid bread and I don't get the appeal. I don't like bread that much. Maybe I should just love yeast more. It's a complicated relationship. But, what I'm saying, although I did like it once mixed with coffee, but that was mostly because it tasted like coffee. Okay, first new adult novel. I am going to say this actually is a nonfiction, and this would be Don't Worry It Gets Worse, and this is a memoir by Alida Nugent, and it is kind of telling the story of being someone not in college but right after college and the transition from young adult and even teenageness into being a full adult and the kind of the missteps you have it. It's very entertaining, and I related to it very much when I read it 2 years ago. I can't remember a lot of the details now, and I would love to reread it now that I'm actually kind of finishing my college days rather than being in the midst. As well as one of my favorite new adult books that is in the fantasy genre would be the Daevabad trilogy by S.A. Chakrabarty, and this is City of Brass, and then also Kingdom of Copper that just came out, and there's a third one that is coming out again, Empire of Gold. Number 3, tequila. You partied too hard last night and drank a little too much. What's a book that you never want to see again? And I have 3. First of all, we have one that I wanted to love because its title is amazing, Heart of Darkness. Think morally complex. No. It's this dude in Africa going down nice little riverboat, being super boring, and I love boring, but it's terrible boring, and being super racist, and I hated it. Second of all, we have Willow by Julia Hoban, which is a story about a woman with really bad representation, about cutting and anorexia, and it scarred my 15, 16-year-old self. Third, we have Stones by William Bell, and this is a Canadian author. I had to read it for English class, and pretty much scarred 14-year-old me because it's a paranormal book that you just have to relive a woman being stoned very gorily over and over again, and it's horrifying. I never wanted to go into that town again, and I had to because my grandparents live in that town right beside it. Horrified. Anyways, I try to put it out of my mind. 4, we have Beer Pond. What's a book that you read super fast? So I'm going to do like a series here, and that would be Tahira Mafi's just general works. I got to meet her last Saturday, which was super exciting, and in preparation for that I read Shatter Me and the first 4 books in that series, as well as 2 novellas, as well as Witchwood, all in 1 week, and it was intense, and it was a joy. I felt very immersed. They're not even that great books, but I think that her writing is incredible. Number 5, Spring Break. You've thrown all your inhibitions to the wind, and you end up having a sexy night you'll never forget. What is your favorite smut book? I'm just gonna pass on this because I don't like smut. I just don't like sexy books at all. And when there is sex in books, I'm just kind of like, can we move along now? Move along like I know you can. Number 6, Screwdriver, what is your most twisted book you've ever read? I don't know what the contextualization of twisted is. I'm just going to say weird character motivations. And it would be Sula by Toni Morrison, where the main character is just not a great person. Her idea of fun is to sleep with other people's husbands of her friends just for the fun of it, just so she can, and break up marriages. And I'm like, can you have some altruism in your soul that maybe, like, I realize the guy is also responsible, but, like, just trying to break up people's marriages isn't fun. That's not something you should do to your friends. Number 7, Long Island iced tea, the melting pot of alcoholic drinks. And you have to pick one of your favorite diverse reads. So I have a bunch of them here. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. Scythe by Neil Shusterman. A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi. Exit West by Mohsin Hamad. The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chokshi. And this has, like, representation for, like, everything. The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini, my favorite book of all time. You should really read it. And then we have Sex on the Beach, a book that seemed great in theory but wasn't exactly what it was meant to be. A book that was overhyped. And for this one, oh, this one fits it so well. Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I wanted this book to be so wonderful, except for I think that she somehow mixed up, like, a dark fantasy with a feel-good, like, rom-com, and I don't know where the marketing happened well. The third book kind of redeemed it slightly for me, but I'm consistent that I will get to the end. It's just a little bit painful for me sometimes. And then another book that was really hyped but that I don't love, I think that it's more of like a me, not you kind of thing, but that would be Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. And then we have Wine. You've gone through a rough breakup and you need to cry out all your feels. What is a book that made you cry a lot? And for this one, I have The Midnight Star by Marie Look. Why can't I say names? The Marie Lu. And this is a book that I was so emotional about it. This series is just fantastic in general. I love Marie Lu, but her books make me cry. And that ending, I like cried for days. It was not okay. And then we have 10, Strip Club. What is the sexiest naked book? And this one, I have to do it. I don't have a lot of hard copies that are new at all, so most of them don't have any naked fineness, but whew, she's hot, isn't she? Like, whew. And this is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Like, she's got it going on. I gotta say that. And then that is the conclusion of this tag. I hope that you enjoy it as well. It was just a lot of fun for me to drink my alcoholic smoothie and talk about books in silly ways. And if you would like to do this and you are, of course, legal drinking age in your country, feel free to do it. And the rest of it is history. That sounded just overly dramatic for no apparent reason.